Welcome ladies. Now today I have a great tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how I refashion some of my thrift store clothes into vintage looks. Now this is something that I get asked about all of the time. Whenever I wear something, people always ask me where I got it from, and they just cannot believe how on earth I did this. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I have found one of my latest pieces. I found this dress, 1920s style. We're going to do a few little changes to it, and I'll show you the outfit at the end. So let's get started. So recently I was in a thrift store and found this beautiful dress from probably the 70s or the 80s. It is actually made of a nylon knit fabric. So it has a little bit of stretch to it, but basically it has this beautiful sort of gathers at the bottom. It just starts, it's quite not very fitted, but I thought this would make a perfect 1920s outfit. So when I was looking for this and being inspired by the 1920s, what I was looking for was first of all, the shape and silhouette of the dress. Now it really needs to be more or less a sag for the 1920s. It was all about being loose fitting, not showing off any waistline really of any kind. A dropped waist was preferable and just fitting straight through. So as you can see, this one here fits the bill. It's very, very straight, minimal fitting with the lower waistline with this gathering down the bottom. We've got just a plain scoop neckline, which you see all of the time in the 1920s. I thought this would be a perfect starting point to make a beautiful 1920s dress. So now, what do I plan on doing to this to make a few changes to make it much more 1920s looking? So I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I've already tried this on, so I'm going to take this in. This is too big for me. This mannequin is my size. As you can see, there's quite a bit of extra fabric that we can take in. I am actually going to probably make a few little darts to give it a little bit more shape. It's not quite 100% 1920s accurate, but it is how I fit things on my body and my shape to make it a little bit more flattering for my figure. On top of taking this in a little bit, what I'm also going to do is these darts that I have here are actually kind of sit in a really funny point because this is too big. They really, my bust point is really here when they end back here, so it's quite pointy. So what I'm going to do is actually create a design line here, and I'm going to extend these darts and make them match up and make it part of the design. And then I'm also going to do something with this sleeve. This sleeve is not very 1920s looking, so I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm thinking turning this into some sleeveless style. So we'll do something with the sleeves there. And then what I really wanted to do to make this look more 1920s is to add a collar. Now I have these beautiful crocheted lace collar pieces. I have quite a few of them. It's always good to collect these things because you never know when you might need them. Now I was playing around with a few different ones, but I decided that these ones would work the best. They will sit. Going to put one on each. And then personally, I always like my collars, etc., to extend all of the way around the back. So I'm actually going to add a second collar to the back and overlap it at the shoulders so that it comes down and it will just form part of a design around the shoulder line there. Now that's the basis of the changes that we're going to make to this one after my little brainstorming session here. Now I'm going to probably fast forward through all of my actual pinning and making of. So I'm going to get started and start fitting this first, and then we'll work on the sleeve, and then we'll do the finishing touches of the collar. Okay, first I'm going to pin the darts and make those look a little bit better over my bust line. So what I've done here is just pinned these darts and extended them, making them a design line, and they go straight up to the center front neck here. I will, of course, when I take this off, I will measure and make sure that they are exactly in the center, but I'll do that when it's off the mannequin. Next up, what I'm going to do is take some of this extra room out of here. All right, what I've done, I have created some front darts in here. I've only pinned one side at the moment because I'm going to take it off the mannequin, lay it flat, and actually replicate this exact dart in the right place on this side here. I've pinned in those darts that run this way all the way to the front design, creating a design line. And then at the back, it's already had some darts in here. So I've just created a little bit more of a waist in here, just hollowed that out a little bit, and actually have extended it all the way up to the little shoulder darts that they have up here. So it's just one seam, shaped seam all the way down now. And I will be taking some off the sides and including off down through the gathers at the bottom here as well. Right. So I'm going to take this off the mannequin now, pin everything, make sure it's even and flat and neat, and then we can get sewing. So now I have finished the fittings part, and I'm just going to now do my collar and do something with the sleeves. Still not quite sure yet, we'll see how that goes. First I'm going to pin my collar in place, and then I'm going to give it a little stitch just around the very edge, attaching it to the dress around here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Domestic machine, stitching the crocheted collar onto the 1920's dress that I'm refashioning. Now I have the collar stitched on. I'm up to the sleeves, and after much deliberation I've decided that I will keep them fluttery like this, but I'm going to take off the length and basically cut them off along here, straight. This will be a lot shorter. I want to wear it for summer, so I think that a nice shorter sleeve will keep this nice and cool. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this, and I'm just simply going to hem it by turning it back under and stitching again. And so I had decided for finishing touches, I needed just a little bow at the front over the collar with a little pearl button in the middle. The bow actually has come off a vintage 1930s hat that I have, that I took off the hat. I've actually turned it around backwards because the front side's a little damaged, and I think it's just perfect for this piece here. So now we've fitted it, we've shortened the sleeves, we've got the collar and the bow to finish, and that is done. You can't see much on the mannequin, so perhaps I'm going to put it on and show you the completed look, because it's never complete without accessories, of course. And that is my finish refashioned look for this thrifted dress that I have turned into 1920s style outfit. Now, if you enjoyed this inspirational tutorial, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel, because I hope to do more of these in the future. It's something I get asked about all the time, so I want to share with you what I know, give you some tips and tricks, and hopefully just a little inspiration so that we can all make some cuter vintage outfits. Now, if you're really into vintage refashioning, I have a few things planned for the future, so head on over to my website and jump on my mailing list, because I have some great things planned for coming up to do with vintage refashioning. So make sure you subscribe to my list and be first to know. So thanks again for watching. If you try anything like this, gives you a bit of inspiration, I would love to actually see what you've done and tell me about it. So thanks again, and until next time, bye. Okay, Dolly's a little wonky.